welcome to episode 3 of Growing Weed to Bud from Seed. I'm sorry it's taken me 3 weeks to get this episode out. I've been visiting my motherland and unfortunately along the way I got my GoPro stolen, so I've had to find a new camera for these episodes. But anyway, while I was gone I had my wife's good friend look after my plants. And she kept them alive, so thank you very much for that. But unfortunately there was a spider mite infestation when I got back. I've been frantically trying to get that under control, but I have an awesome remedy for spider mites and other pests, which I'll teach you in a later episode. Anyway, let's start this episode. Today's theme is on climate and lighting for your seedlings. If you have been following my previous episodes, then hopefully you have a seedling or 2 of your own at home and you're ready to get these babies growing. As you can see, my seedlings do not look the greatest at this time. I'm going to put that down to me being away on holiday, but it could happen to anyone. You can see that they're stretched with very small leaves, but this is also from the spider mite damage that they suffered. So hopefully this hasn't happened to you at home. To fix this elongation, I'm going to take a small pot, or you can take a plastic beer cup, whatever you like, something small that has holes in the bottom or poke holes in the bottom for drainage. Then I'm going to put the rock wool inside the pot and fill the rest with coarse perlite. Now look at this, they're nice and stable and small again. And from now on, I'm going to move the seedlings nice and close to the light to prevent more elongation. I briefly touched on lighting in my previous episode, but right now I'm going to lay out your options. I'll start with the lighting that I've always used and loved, T5 lighting. T5 gets its name from the bulb's tubular 5 1/8 inch diameter. They're usually arranged side by side in a relatively flat fixture, which hangs over the canopy. The great thing about T5 lighting is that they run quite cool, allowing for closer distance between the canopy and light. Energy consumption is low depending on how many bulbs you're running, of course, and having it on 24 hours a day should not add very much to your electrical bill. I've got my T5 set up on the timer, so I don't need to worry about being there to turn it on and off. Cfl Lights. CFLs are also a good option, and they're very similar lighting to T5. They run very cool, however you'll need to purchase a fixture for each bulb, which tends to become a little messy and tedious. But the good thing about CFL lighting is that you can arrange the bulbs how you like, allowing you to have side lighting, underneath lighting, whatever you like. These can be purchased from basically anywhere, such as Home Depot, Walmart, or if you are in Australia, then Bunnings Warehouse. Metal Halide. It's a very high intensity discharge light, so the light is very intense and provides a larger coverage than the fluorescents. They're very heavy on the blue spectrum. Metal halides are perfect for vegetative growth, however you must remember that these lights run quite hot, so you will need adequate ventilation for these suckers. They also utilize more energy, so they'll cost more to run per bulb than fluoros. I suggest using these lights if you have a larger amount of plants that you're growing. Otherwise, you may just be wasting light and money. LEDs. They work very well and the spectrum is great. Definitely intense enough for vegetation, and the bulbs have an extremely long life. They also run about as cool as fluoros, even when running more wattage. The only downside is that they're a little more expensive than other lighting, but not too much. You can definitely find a decent 600 watt fixture for under $200 these days in China. There's lots of other lighting choices, of course, and there's new technologies that seem to come out every year, but I'll leave that for later episodes or for your own research. But for now, I suggest one of the mentioned options. Now, climate for your seedlings. I'll start by telling you what I consider the ideal climate for vegetative growth. You want a temperature between 75 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit and a humidity above 50%. That's perfect. That's almost like jungle conditions. But don't worry too much. If your climate is drier and your temperatures exceed that, it won't matter. You'll still be able to grow your plants. The worst thing is if your roots get too cold, that may kill your plant. I'll go more into climate in later episodes. It's much more important in flowering, and I suggest you pick up one of these meters. They tell you the temperature and climate over a 24-hour period. They're perfect and they cost about $20. Good airflow is also pretty essential. If you're in an open room like I am, then all you really need is a small fan to circulate air. Just don't have the fan directly on the young plants, as this could cause windburn. But there's not really too much that can go wrong in the vegetative stage. Like I said, just make sure your roots don't get too cold, and if you are in a cold place, then try and get a heating mat. These can really help, and of course a heater. If it's high humidity, then your plants will drink more and they will grow faster, but they'll grow fine in just about any humidity. But for now, just worry mostly about finding somewhere to hang your light and get it nice and close to prevent that elongation that I've been getting. Once we've grown our first few nodes, I'll show you the proper feeding schedule so we can get the growth underway. Thanks guys, I'll see you soon. Please subscribe. I love having new subscribers. Bye.